You know, I am old enough to remember wage and price controls from the 1970s and what a disaster they were when government gets, too big for its britches, as my mother used to say, and we come wading in and trying to dictate how the economy is going to work. It never works, by the way. Look around the world. When government gets too involved with the economy is, questionable. Socialism like that never works. My next guest has a great health care plan, would be even greater without those same sorts of price controls. Pete Sepp from the National Taxpayers Union joining me now. Pete, good to see you.
Same here.
All right, price controls. I'm old enough to remember what a failure and disaster they were in the 1970s. And that was a Richard Nixon thing. It was terrible, right? And here we are. No old bad idea is bad enough to not try it again, it seems to me. Where am I wrong?
You're not wrong at all. Nixon even admitted it. If you care to listen to one of the tapes and his discussion with John Connolly in the Oval Office, he said, the trouble with price controls, even though we're going to do them, is that the expletive deleted things don't work. And he was right, even though he was wrong in implementing them. President Trump's great health care plan is veering in that direction by linking U.S. drug prices to a foreign index of what countries that have socialized medicine systems pay for our drugs. Big mistake. Number one, it's going to crush the innovation that is actually saving taxpayer dollars. The more blockbuster drugs we bring online, the fewer hospital stays, surgeries, and doctor visits we have. That cuts costs in government-funded healthcare programs. Another problem, we're aiming at the wrong thing. We don't want to emulate these socialist systems of these countries that we link our prices to. We want to make them pay their fair share. Right now, on a purchasing power basis, socialized medicine countries, mainly the ones in Europe, pay less than half of the price that we do as Americans for our drugs. That's wrong. They need to be made to pay their fair share. And I'm not being a Marxist here.
Here's the thing. You look at Europe, Pete, there is no innovation coming out of Europe. Nothing. Because the governments have their hand in everything. There's no innovation coming out of Europe over the last 25 years. Here's something else. 100 million more people live in the EU countries. I think there's 27 of them. Our GDP far outpaces them. Our productive and our production far outpaces all of Europe. They're destroying their own economies in places like Germany, where they're deindustrializing. Brilliant. Pretty soon they can be living in caves again if they plan it right. The idiocy knows no bounds. Oh, yeah, we just need more socialism, less industry. We need to have windmills. These people are nuts, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right. And we need to remember no other country on earth, no other country has a system of healthcare where Americans have access to almost 90% of all new drug launches, and yet over 90% of all prescriptions are filled through generics. That's called access and affordability. Germany doesn't have it. UK doesn't have it. Canada doesn't have it. They don't have it because they resort to more government control. That means rationing things, waiting periods. It means tamping costs down artificially, which means tamping care down artificially.
And every country you just named are cozying up to dictator Xi and China. Every country you just named are cozying up to China, turning their back on Western civilization and Western values to become even more socialized. Carney up in Canada, they want to silence people, they want to tax people, they want to flood the place with people from countries all over the world that have no interest in Canada and hate maple syrup. I'll just throw that in there. They hate it. What are they doing, Pete? Honestly, what are they? This is why America has to look out for America. We cannot be tethered to the sinking ship of Europe or even Canada now. These are countries that are imploding, in my estimation, on a variety of fronts, including the financial front and how they do price controls and how they dictate pharmaceuticals and healthcare. That's just one part of the problem, isn't it?
It is. It's all the taxes and spending that these systems engage in. You look at France, they have historically had a tax burden as a percent of their economy about twice as high as ours, and yet their crisis with retirement and entitlement programs is happening now. They're collapsing because no amount of taxation is ever good enough to cover the spending ambitions of socialists. They go down the drain faster than any other country like ours, which is in a lot of trouble with its own entitlements because they cannot control their appetite for more resources from their people.
Yeah, they're down the drain faster than scrubbing bubbles. Another 70s reference just for fun, folks. There you go. Let me ask you, what does the message need to be? Donald Trump on the ground about 20 minutes ago in Switzerland on his way to the Davos World Economic Forum. What do you want to hear the president say to the rest of the world? I think he's going to deliver the terms of surrender financially to the people of Europe and elsewhere. Say, look, we're up 5.4%. Scott Bessent says we could see GDP 7%, maybe 8% in 2026. It would be mind-blowing, but we're on a track to do that. What do you want to hear from the president in Davos?
I want to hear the president say, look, we've cut taxes. We're finally trying to get a handle on spending. We are going to be an island of innovation and freedom, not one of stagnation and oppression. You can follow us or you can be left behind even further than you already have. He should not emulate anything fiscally that those countries are doing or in their healthcare systems.
I totally agree, Pete. They just don't get it. Do they not have books in Europe? Do they not have books in Canada so you could read about the Great Leap Forward? Of course, they don't teach that in schools anymore. And what a failure Chairman Mao was, and Stalin, and Castro. I mean, you just go right down the list. Do they not read?
Unfortunately not. They would rather think that this time, we can get socialism right.
Good Lord, Pete. It gives me a headache because it's so obvious. It is so obvious. Those things don't work. It leads to failure. It leads to governmental collapse every single time. Last word to you.
Call your office.
Yeah, last word to you. Whatever you want to share with us, Pete.
The president's on the right track, partially with this great health care plan. More transparency, putting more dollars back into people's pockets so they can get their own health care, introducing competition in the market. This one-piece drug price controls based on other countries is a 180-degree opposite policy that he shouldn't be following.
Pete Sepp, always appreciate talking to you, sir. Thank you. We'll look forward to what he says today and tomorrow. We'll talk again soon.
My pleasure. Take care.
Of course. Coffee. It's one of the things I prefer every day, and I prefer 1775 coffee. It's great coffee. It's bold and full-bodied, and it is sustainable. That's the great thing about 1775 coffee. It isn't just your morning boost. It's your fuel that keeps me strong. I drink lots of it. Single-origin, high-altitude Bolivian beans, hand-picked at peak ripeness. And right now, if you go to 1775coffee.com and use the promo code Gruber, you're going to save 10% off tomorrow's Cup of Joe. Yeah, I drink a lot of it. Makes me happy. I like to be happy. 1775coffee.com. It is an average. It's great coffee. You're going to appreciate it. 1775coffee.com. Promo code Gruber. I'll be right back.